So this Vishnu boss is the same boss as the twins Sweeper back in December, January, but now we use Akechi because Akechi can actually be used as main DPS now. So the special effect here is any ally under the Wonder uses physical Almighty skill, the team will get the buff, 40% increase in final damage. In the boss gimmick itself, every time you hit the boss will gain resistance to the type that you use to hit. So you use fire, you will gain resistance to fire. The boss also has soul link, so they share damage. The resistance thing also lasts for only 2 turns. So the team is going to change depending on if you have Akechi or not, and if you have A1 twins or not. So if you do not have Akechi, just run the twins as a sweeper, regardless of awareness, because you obviously want to use a Almighty Sweeper here to get the points. And if you do have Akechi, and you have A1 twins, you use the A1 twins as the medic, because you should be able to sustain decent with A1 medic. I cannot sustain well. It's really tough. I cannot even sustain properly with Sawamoko. It's quite a bit of RNG. Marion is fine, but Cherish is even better, because the stage uses a lot of Magarula and stuff which can inflict Wind Sweep, and if you dodge the Wind Sweep, Cherish's passive will activate. But yeah, if you're running A1 twins or A0 twins as the sweeper, just use a sustain like Cherish, Sawamoko, then another buffer like maybe Cord, then Wind. But anyways, Akechi, here's the Mindscape. He got a bit of crit rate. And then he's running the Freedom Disappointment obviously for the DPS. And Akechi is A0 R0, and you need at least 49.1% crit rate including Navigator. Then our sustain is Cherish. If you don't have Cherish, Sawamoko should be your next best option, and then after that is your A1 R0 Marion. So this is the Mindscape. He's running Faith and Peace. My Cherish do not have 5-star weapon, so I cannot really hit the 6100 defense cap or requirement. Then we have twins. So again, if you're A1 twins, you can run them as medic to pair with your Akechi. If not, you can just do like me, use them as buffer. Then just run another sustain like Cherish or Marion or Sawamoko. Here's the Mindscape. They are running the Departure Prosperity. This is required. Then my twins is A0 R1. Navigator, we have Futaba. This is the Mindscape. So you do want to all in this side, because this side scores more. Akechi does more, I'm pretty sure twins also does more than Joker. Joker side doesn't really score that high. Futaba is here. So just take note that Futaba skill 1 doesn't fully activate with Almighty, because you only get the full defense debuff with skill 1 if it's a weakness hit. And Almighty doesn't hit for weakness, so it's only going to be like 30+% defense debuff. So if you want to do a defense calculation, you make sure you take the correct one. So she's running Integrity Label. We have quite nice, we have 2 Almighty characters, so we can activate a bit of extra buffs. And Futaba is A0 R0. Dagger, if you are running Akechi, just run the Plasma Blade. Plasma Blade is literally for Akechi. If you don't want the Plasma Dagger, you can just run Ex Machina, put Almighty Persona as the first one. So the first persona we have here, Langer. Langer here for the shock, 10% crit or thunder. Then we have Dionysus for Rebellion and Revolution. For even more crit, we want to try and reach a crit cap. And then we have Koryu. Koryu is just there for the passive, because we have twins and Akechi who can use like alternate different skills which can easily activate Koryu's passive for the attack buff. Then for turn order, Cherish, twins should be number 1 as always. If it's A0, then your DPS obviously last one. So the first turn, you can just use a Fire Ice skill from the twins. You can target the middle one, knock it down and just do one more. Then I'm gonna do a Cherry skill 2 first. The reason is because I want to sync the Cherry skill 3 with the twin skill amplification. If you are A1 twins, you don't really need to worry about that, unless you're running them as the medic, which you definitely want to. I cannot run medic twins because my medic twins A0 cannot sustain well, and this fight they hit pretty hard. You do skill 2. You do skill 2 when you want to do DPS, because it gives the skill 3 extra hit, extra arrow. Even with Cherish, there's still some RNG involved, especially when you hit, but they hit like 3 times on the same character. Okay, then you can do a double skill 1. Then Side Nuke. For the Pierce. Then Fire Ice. Do some buffing. Then we can skill 3 with Cherish. This will buff damage also, up to like 50+%, which is pretty good. That's why I use him in Revolution. The boss also spams a bunch of ailments, like the Mankarula or whatever, which can help out to activate Cherish's passive for crit damage 20%. 1.7, that's pretty good. Then we just tank. Okay, nice dodge. Then we do a double skill 2 to target the leftmost one. We do a skill 2, not a skill 3, because we need to charge the data storm. And skill 3 now also useless because we're not going to use Akechi skill 3 anyways. And the skill 3 also is not really useful for Almighty, because Almighty cannot hit weakness. Then just do skill 3 from Twins. Nice thing is that Twins, the damage by Twins is multiplied by 3. Then just do skill 2, I'm just going to target, I think I'm going to target Wonder. If you can afford to use a skill 1, you can just do a skill 1. Then now we do a Younger What Thunder, Pray for Shock. I think I didn't get before. Okay, got 4, that's good. Then now you can check a crit, plus 22%. 12% from the Disappointment set, 10% from Shock. Then we just do a Highlight. Do damage and also buff with skill 3. Then skill 2. Okay. Akechi got the max stacks for Cherry's passive, that's very good. I expect some good damage here. Then now we can do double skill 2. We want to get the data storm up and just hit the middle one. Then Fire Ice, we can knock it down. Then do one more for a bit of extra points. Cherry skill 2. Then we can do Rebellion. Buff Akechi. That's skill 3. It should be good damage. 2.4 I think. Oh no, that's even more than 3.2 and 4 is 3 million. 3.2 million is pretty good. Yeah, one more skill 3. Just tank, don't hit the Twins. Okay. Hit. Okay, yeah. I wanted to dodge the Twin Sweat. Unfortunately, then we do skill 1. Defense debuff. You can save the skill 3 last turn. And Side Nuke. I'm gonna hit the left one. Because we are in the next action, we're gonna do a Side Nuke highlight. Then that one we can aim the middle one. Because the post gimmick is that it will gain resistance, right? Just make sure you use the highlight on not resisted one. And I target the middle one because the middle one we just use for double skill 2. Then skill 2, I'm just gonna I'm gonna buy Akechi just in case. Now let me check the Cherish passive. Okay, we do our crit damage, but it's ending next turn. This turn is the last turn, so that's unfortunate. Then Revolution. Akechi skill 2. Didn't dodge. Unfortunate. Sadly, they will just spend the Brain Buster now, so no more Windswept. Oh no, I think the passive is completely gone now. That's unfortunate, because the passive also has damage percent. Okay, anyways, let's just continue. Double skill 3. So a bit of RNG when you Cherish, because you want to dodge the ailment. So I expect the score to be a bit low this time. Then skill 3. Then skill 3. So that was what I mean when I used the skill 2 first turn. I do a cherry skill 3 because it was right after twin skill amplification, so the skill 3 from cherry will buff more. Then now we do what? Thunder, shock. Oh no, I think it didn't get all. 3 only, damn, that's pretty bad. Yeah, definitely lower score this time. Yeah, we took fire ice, but he should still do like 4 million, I hope. Let's see. Oh yeah, 4.5, that's pretty good. 35? 35, yeah. The other side we have SRAOSHA. The last time this boss ran was back in September, so it's been quite a while. So special effect, same as the other side, you want a physical or almighty character on the team. So you ideally want Turbo. Then the boss gimmick is gonna be 3 enemies total, SRAOSHA and 2 Apsaras. When you kill the Apsaras, the damage you deal to the Apsaras will be dealt again to SRAOSHA. Sadly, that damage is almighty and doesn't get multiplied by the 3 times multiplier. So this side scores a lot less than the other side. And then the SRAOSHA will also restore SP each turn to your team, which is honestly not enough. You need some SP recovery for Joker. Then when the summon Shadow's down point is decreased, your party will increase 15% damage for 1 turn. So here's the tip. Ideally, you do want Turbo here. If you don't have Turbo, you can maybe use Twins here, because Twins can do almighty damage if you have Akechi on the other side. So it kind of depends on who you have. If you don't want to use Twins here, another good option is actually going to be Soy. Because Soy has the skill 2, which is physical damage, and you can just aim it on the middle one to debuff the defense. But yeah, let's go through the characters. First one, we have Joker. This is Mindscape. Then he's running Departure Hindrance for the damage. And Joker is A0R0, and the crit rate, you just try and get as high as possible. If you don't have A1 code, you need like 60+% or something to cap the crit. And then we have Turbo. This is her Mindscape. She's running Creation Reconciliation, and she's A0R0. Then we have Core. For A1 here is nice for the extra crit rate. This is a Mindscape. She's running Trust Prosperity, and she's A1R0. Then we have Navigator, which is going to be regular Wind. Because I'm running regular Wind, I cannot run Tempest Wind here, sadly. So this is our Mindscape. And she's running Resolve Labor for, I guess, the extra defense debuff, though I don't really use the skill 1 much. Then she is A6R3. So this team is very interesting because Joker, Turbo and Court together, you can use 6 highlights in 6 turns, which is the most amount of highlight I've ever used in a battle. Because Joker can extra action, Turbo extra action, then Court has the 5-star weapon and Trust Prosperity, which can let you highlight earlier. And then Joker extra action also allows Turbo to actually reach the max torque boost, the A0. So Joker can allow her to hit level 3, which is 15% pierce. But yeah, the dagger, I run Starry Compass because, you know, it's like a permanent defense debuff thing. And the Apsara keeps dying and respawning, right? So they will always have the defense debuff, which is required for Joker U3 to do more damage because of the 25% this one. Then for Persona, the first one is Alice. Alice also useful here because of the passive. Similar to Starry Compass, you have Alice there, which has like a permanent defense, or not defense, but like a permanent curse damage taken up on the enemy. There's a free damage up. Then we need Taro Rebellion and Taro Kaja for some buff. Then the final Persona is a static, just use whatever. Turn order, Joker last, and okay, this is very standard. 1, 2, 3, 4. First one, to a skill 1 from Turbo. And then we can do Revolution. Buff the crit. Then with skill 1, just hit the middle and shock for a 10% crit. Then now we just do a Joker highlight. So we can use 3 Joker highlight here. And then we can just do a skill 1 first, because SP is gonna be a problem if you keep spamming skill 3, so we can just do 1 skill 1 and everything else can be skill 3. Then we can just do a win skill 3 if you want. But unfortunately, my account is obviously a lot stronger than like 6 months ago. So Joker can easily like OHKO everything, so we don't really have a lot of opportunity to do one more. Because if you want to do one more, you need to break the down point first, and then you need to hit again. And since Joker hits everything in one shot, you can't really hit twice. Maybe you can with like Court. But yeah, it's not as easy as last time. Can we do Rebellion from Alice? We put an Alice so that we can have the passive also. Then we can do skill 1, just aim the middle. That's a better shock. Okay, so now we can actually use the inside stacks for the one more. So you can just do this, you can just do a skill 1 here, aim the left one, give it inside, then Joker can skill 3 and activate the one more. Skill 3. Should give another, this should allow us to do one more. Then we just do the middle one. Because for some reason, it's only the middle one that gets the points. Especially, actually the problem with the Joker team is that what do you call that? The Almighty hit. Like when you kill them, you kill the Apsaras, the Almighty hit doesn't get multiplied by 3. So that kinda sucks. Like it doesn't get multiplied. So to have the multiplied points, you have to target the middle one. You activate extraction, and like Joker is an AoE DPS and there's only like 3 of them, so you cannot like make full use of his damage. There's a problem. The skill 1, skill 3. Get the pierce. You can do a win. Yeah, I can just do a win, skill 3. You cannot really do one more. They're low HP already, so any skill is just gonna kill. Then we just Tarukaja Joker. Maybe using Alice's signature skill is a play here to insta-kill them, but I mean you cannot even get the one more if you insta-kill, because it's not even weakness hit. There's no point in using that. And then using the Alice debuff also is a debuff, and the Apsara keeps dying and respawning, dying and respawning, so the debuff doesn't even stay. So it's kinda useless. But the nice thing about Alice is of the passive. The passive will have like a permanent curse. So even when they just spawn, you have the curse damage taken up. You also have the Starry Compass Stagger for defense debuff, which is like permanent. Then we just do skill 3. Then you can do a Joker highlight here. Some good damage. Then skill 3. The debuff is useful here because Joker skill 3 does more damage. The target is debuffed. That's why we use Alice and also Starry Compass, just to make sure that the boss always has the debuff, so that Joker skill 3 can do more damage. Then we can do Turbo skill 2. And then Revolution of the crit. On this turn we don't have Alice, but we do have Starry Compass, so there's still debuff. In skill 2 from Code. Don't buff the main boss. Okay, good. Because critting, the boss critting is bad. We do skill 3. So yeah, we cannot really activate one more anymore, which is unfortunate. Okay, now we can do a skill 1. Honestly, it doesn't matter who we target, because you cannot activate one more. Oh, got skill 2 also, that's nice. Then just skill 3. So we can do a turbo highlight. Then a skill 1. And then we can do Alice Repelling after crit. Then we can skill 1, get the shock. Then win skill 3, get the damage. Skill 3. Then skill 3 again. Okay, no crit. That's the important part. Then we can do this. So you can see that turbo is at level 3 turbos. 250 velocity. That's because of Joker. So we can do a skill 2. The turbo does at a maximum 15% from the 80. That's nice. Then do a chord highlight of the damage. Then skill 3. Do a win. Then do a skill 3. And then Alice Tarukaja. Then chord skill 3 for some damage. Then skill 3. And we should be able to use a highlight here. And this is the 6th highlight. So 6 highlight in 6 turns, that's pretty crazy. And do final skill 3. Hoping for new record? No, I don't think so. No. 4.4. That's actually very low compared to the other side.